National Scout Organization leadership, delegates and observers, volunteers, special guests and partners, representatives of the World Scout Foundation, members of the World and Regional Scout Committees, and staff of the World Scout Bureau. Welcome to this, the 42nd World Scout Conference. We are excited to be joining you during this historic virtual event. The conference is the governing body of the World Organization of the Scout Movement and provides an opportunity for NSO leadership from all around the world to shape the future of this, the world's leading educational youth movement. We are proud to be celebrating 101 years since the first World Scout Conference, which took place in London in the UK in 1920. And for the first time ever in the movement's history, we are convening this event virtually, making this conference the largest and most accessible event we have ever hosted.
Indeed, Craig, we want to thank you all the delegates, for your participation and engagement in this incredible milestone event. Today, we are bringing together over 2,300 participants representing 169 countries, including many more who will be tuning in into the live stream of these plenaries. Despite the challenges of bringing us together in person, your participation here today and over the coming days is a show of the unity of our movement. We start the conference by reporting to you, our membership, on an exciting, and I must say, an extraordinary 4 years since we gathered in Baku in Azerbaijan in 2017.
WASM set out on an ambitious course following the last conference. We aim to accelerate our efforts towards achieving Vision 2023, our strategy for Scouting. And we made remarkable progress in becoming the world's leading educational youth movement. Over the Triennium, our global movement stepped forward in extraordinary ways to demonstrate our collective strength, unity, resilience, and impact.
And our report shows the progress we have made towards implementing the World Triennial Plan. We will be highlighting the many achievements that have enabled all of us to grow stronger together. The report that was made available to all delegations detailed the key activities and achievements, and also the impact from implementing our Triennial Plan from 2017 to 2020. But we also will be reflecting on the story of how the Scout movement adapted during the Covid-19 pandemic from 2020 until today, as one of the most extraordinary challenges of our times. And of course, the Triennial Report and other key documents related to the conference, including our draft Triennial Plan for the next 3 years, can be found on the event's website. So let's walk you through this exciting journey and what we have achieved together. Over to you, Craig.
Thank you so much, Ahmad. So let's start from Baku. Immediately after the conference, we organized ourselves into structured teams and a highly efficient operational framework, building on lessons learned from previous trienniums, to translate and put the Triennial Plan into action over the course of the next 3 years. At the start of 2020, as we neared the end of the triennium, we achieved 90% from our KPIs, and 10% were partially achieved. We simply made significant progress in every aspect of our work, guided by the Triennial Plan and the strategy for Scouting. In March 2020, it became clear that the COVID-19 pandemic would have a dramatic impact on the world at large. But together with you, we decided to postpone our conference and to fully focus our attention in supporting our membership. We pivoted quickly to mobilize around a 100-day emergency response, followed by a 1-year strategic plan to bridge the period until this conference. And during that time, we stepped up our support to NSOs, helping you adapt your operations and youth programs to continue delivering Scouting to young people during the pandemic. The effort since 2017 has been nothing short of remarkable. Throughout the triennium, we engaged 211 volunteers in the operational framework, and we trained more than 200 WASM consultants. We also delivered over 720 events and engagement opportunities for national scout organizations, providing direct services and exchange opportunities to our membership. As we all shifted into digital collaboration during the pandemic, we saw amazing ingenuity and remote collaboration happening across the entire movement. In just the last year alone, we saw nearly 16,000 Zoom meetings, totaling over 160,000 hours, and involving more than 215,000 participants taking place. Now, moving from how we coordinated ourselves during the Triennium, and to brief you about our focus on governance, one of our primary tasks since the last conference was to ensure the good governance and management of WASM. The committee made a strong commitment to adopt the best principles and practices for good governance, conducting ourselves to the highest ethical standards with a dedication towards continuous improvement. And we focused on solidifying good governance principles and, importantly, enhanced the engagement of volunteers. We established 5 task forces as a direct response to conference resolutions, helping to govern in several key areas. And you can find more details in the Triennial report about how we implemented the conference resolutions. A number of standing committees working in the areas of finance, audit, constitutions, ethics, and honours and awards, they all made strong progress towards the achievement of their mandates. Our commitment to observe the highest ethical standards in our work included establishing a WASM Ethics Committee for the first time. This new ethics committee reports to the World Scout Committee, and it ensures that any breaches of WASM's Code of Conducts are rigorously followed up on using a clear and transparent process. We established 3 codes of conduct this triennium: a general one, applicable to all volunteers and staff within WASM, one related to bidding for world events, and one governing free and fair election processes. Each of these codes is supported by e-learnings and training resources, and the implementation and continuous improvement of the procedures over the last triennium has already shown the significant benefits for a world organization of our size and stature. Now, another area of major focus to all of us is growth, as we all agreed in Baku. Growing the movement and enhancing the quality of our youth programs continues to be a high priority. And this triennium, we made a concerted effort to implement a global growth initiative, enabling our movement to reach a record number of 57 million scouts and millions more beneficiaries. At the start of the triennium, we identified 30 NSOs with high growth potential, and we worked with them to accelerate opportunities for membership growth. We helped these NSOs and others strengthen their capacity and implement growth strategies, ultimately resulting in 70% of WASM's growth this triennium. We created a new WASM service on growth, enabling NSOs to access resources and support to implement their national growth strategies and in order to reach out to more young people. The recently published online membership report highlights a continuous and increasing membership growth of 12% between 2015 and 2019, which is highly encouraging. Youth membership growth was recorded among girls and boys, with a significant growth improvement around the involvement of young female members. It is worth noting that these growth figures are based on official census submissions from NSOs. They reflect WASM's membership status and trends before the COVID-19 pandemic, which we recognize has had a significant impact on membership retention and growth. But we are also very, very encouraged to see the resilience of our movement and how some NSOs have managed to grow even during the pandemic. And we encourage you to check out the 2021 membership report, now available in a dedicated digital platform, offering rich visuals, insights, and interactive data on WASM's membership trends. And another aspect of our growth story is equally exciting. It's truly heartwarming to see the addition of 3 new members: Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Solomon Islands, thus expanding our incredible movement to 172 National Scout organizations around the world. Please join us in welcoming Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Solomon Islands to the movement. Their membership was a result of strong partnerships and teamwork. We are inspired to continue building on this work, and we can share with you that we have also made significant progress supporting a number of other countries on their journey towards full WASM membership. Now, moving from growth to another area of high impact, WASM continues to deliver some of the largest and most engaging world, regional, and national events for young people. And one of the unforgettable highlights of 2019 was the 24th World Scout Jamboree. This world-class event united over 45,000 young people and volunteers from more than 150 countries to experience one of the world's largest outdoor educational events for youth. And among the many educational learning opportunities at the Jamboree, the Better World Tent and the Global Development Village offered Scouts a space to learn more about Scouting's contribution towards the Sustainable Development Goals and engage with global and regional partners. Over the Triennium, we've also worked to reimagine Jota Joti into the world's largest digital Scout event, promoting friendship and global citizenship education. A new educational program and digital platform of activities connected an amazing 5 million young people from over 130 countries in 2020. Building on this success, WASM organized the first ever special edition of Joti to respond to young people around the world experiencing COVID-19 lockdowns. The event served as a space for young people and Scouts to connect, learn, and build friendships from home during what have been challenging times. Our WASM regions continued their efforts to connect our movement and to provide support to NSOs. 6 regional conferences and a large number of youth events also took place this triennium, bringing together NSO leadership and young people to focus on the growth of Scouting and to make key decisions at a regional level. Over the past year during the pandemic, the delivery of world and regional events has certainly become more challenging. And so we will be taking time during this conference to discuss ideas and resolutions to draw lessons from this experience and ensure future events continue to connect young people and support the development of NSOs. Now, moving on, I mentioned briefly our work on diversity and inclusion. And connected to this is our movement's commitment to providing an environment that is safe from harm for young people and volunteers involved at all levels in Scouting. Across the movement, we promote strict safe from harm standards and policies for all member organizations to comply with, ensuring that we prevent abuse from happening and that we hold ourselves to the highest possible standards for safeguarding children and youth. We significantly increased support in this area following the adoption of the World Safe from Harm policy. And to date, we have trained more than 50 safe from harm consultants and delivered services and support to over 100 NSOs. In this triennium, we also developed a range of safe from harm resources, e-learning courses and trainings for young people and adults in Scouting, including a self-assessment tool to support NSOs' compliance with their policies. And in 2021, we dedicated a full week to safe from harm communications and campaigns to highlight how we can all make Scouting safer. And we signed a new partnership agreement to work in collaboration with the UN Special Representative of the Secretary General on violence against children. Given the critical importance of this area, Our movement should make safe from harm a key priority for the next triennium. You will see this reflected in the draft World Triennial Plan, as well as through a dedicated draft resolution and a proposal for constitutional amendment tabled during this conference. So, let me now turn over to Ahmad for more updates on the ways that we are supporting our members and engaging young people across the movement. Over to you, Ahmad.
Thank you, Craig. Another major area of our report is how we collectively responded to the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has been tough on all of us. However, it has been incredibly inspiring to witness how Scout leaders across our movement live by the motto, be prepared, and step forward to lead community response and recovery efforts. Around the world, NSOs also demonstrated incredible leadership and innovation. By adopting your Scouting program, you were able to continue to engage young people safely in activities at home and online. WOSOM showed its resilience and agility by quickly implementing a 100-day emergency response to address the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in our movement. We coordinated the World Scout Academy, delivering learning opportunities during an 8-week program to more than 4,000 participants, including NSO leadership and Scout leaders. A number of other world and regional events also helped in connecting our movement during this challenging time. We developed new resources to support Scouting at home activities and enable a gradual return to an in-person Scouting. We promoted stories of youth-led community service and COVID-19 responses from across the movement. And we also leveraged the Scout Donation platform to support the work of our NSOs. We also established a special re-energizing Scouting fund in collaboration with the World Scout Foundation, directing over $1.2 million to promote membership recovery, retention, and growth among our membership, especially NSOs who have been deeply impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. We were also able to leverage the funding from the World Health Organization to support National Scout Organization. One of our signature initiatives this triennium was also to reimagine how we deliver services and support to you, our membership. Our vision was to create a fully integrated ecosystem for National Scout organizations to access the support, information, the resources they need to deliver quality Scouting to more young people. That is why we built WOSOM Services, a custom approach launched in 2018 to serve our membership and streamline support to all member organizations. Since 2018, we have delivered more than 500 services across 13 support areas. 74% of WOSOM membership have requested and received services from a team of over 200 trained WOSOM consultants in all regions. The results and ratings of the service delivery have been truly remarkable. Our evaluations show that 9 out of 10 NSOs would recommend the services they receive to another member. And you also rated the knowledge, quality, and professionalism of service delivery by WOSOM consultant at an average of 4.5 out of 5. So I want to pause here and give a special thanks and shout out to all of those incredible volunteers and consultants who dedicated countless hours and energy, both in person and online, to support you. In addition to the core education products that Craig just mentioned, more than 700 resources, toolkits, e-learning courses, and other publications, many of which were developed during this past triennium, are now freely available to all National Scout organizations through the service platform. Another key initiative this triennium was to accelerate our digital transformation efforts, even before the pandemic, making news, data, and membership information more accessible and transparent for the movement. That is why WOSOM launched a revamped members portal, including the World Scouting Directory and NSO Data Portal. These tools make it easier for member organizations to access the key information they need to make decisions, report on census figures, and track membership trends over the years. All of these information are now available in one place. Hundreds of capacity strengthening workshops, trainings, and field visits also took place globally and regionally. And we passed a major milestone as a movement with more than 2/3 of NSOs now assessed through the GSAT, WOSM's quality assessment tool. Both online and offline, we simply made delivering quality services and support to our membership our highest priority. And while we have been delivering on a number of priorities, we maintained our focus on our core educational work. We redesigned several core scouting products to set standards, norms, and policies to keep scouting relevant and attractive to young people and other volunteers. We released updated version of the essential characteristics of scouting, one of scouting's most fundamental educational resources. And we refreshed the guide to the youth program in scouting, the GPS, to assist you, our membership, in the development and renewal of your national youth programs. We also released the Scoutship, marking a significant upgrade in how we support adults in scouting. The Scoutship brings all of our volunteer resources together in one accessible and easy-to-navigate website. And we also, with the celebration of the Wood Badge Centenary, we collaboratively released the updated Wood Badge framework. Another key focus for us beyond service delivery was rethinking the way we coordinate and implement our educational initiatives. Through the Better World framework, we restructured our educational initiatives to complement the youth program of National Scout organizations. We implemented the past conference resolution when you asked us to align our programs with the Sustainable Development Goals and the principles for education for sustainable development. Our flagship initiative, Messengers of Peace, celebrated this year's 10th anniversary. Looking back over the past decade, Messenger of Peace has involved nearly all National Scout organizations and has inspired more than 16 million projects and actions, totaling to an incredible 2.3 billion hours of community service towards peace and sustainable development. And through the Messenger of Peace initiative and other donors' advised funding, we provided more than $4.5 million for 214 projects in 90 National Scout organizations. Building on the success of the Messenger of Peace initiative, in 2018, we launched Scouts for SDGs to mobilize 57 million young people to make the world's largest coordinated youth contribution towards the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. We built a digital hub featuring stories and community service projects to inspire young people into action for the SDGs. And we developed a range of resources to support NSOs to integrate education for sustainable development into their national scouting program. In addition to our work around peace building, in 2020, World Scouting launched the Earth Tribe as an updated educational initiative focused on the environment. The Earth Tribe, which replaces the former World Scout Environment Program, enables young people to develop the skills and competencies to become environmental leaders and tackle climate change. As a movement open to all, Scouting has an important role to play in creating a more gender-equal world. This triennium, we made commitment to gender equality by partnering with UN Women and encouraging young people to take the He for She pledge. We developed a range of new diversity and inclusion resources and ran workshops and dialogues in gender equality during Scouting events. All of these efforts put a spotlight on the importance of gender equality and gave rise to an increased participation of women and girls in many Scouting activities. We also progressed our work around humanitarian action, recognizing the active role young people can play in responding to humanitarian crises around the world. We advanced the UN Global Compact on young people in humanitarian action and partnered with UNHCR in educational activities at Jamboree events to share the stories and experiences of refugees. We also engage refugees and internally displaced persons through Scouting Youth Program. I recognize countries like Kenya and Turkey for opening their programs for refugees. These educational initiatives and activities are all parts of our continued commitment towards mobilizing our movement in service of building a better tomorrow. Our vision is placing emphasis on increasing our impact and influence in the world to create a positive change. This triennium, we widened our impact and increased the global recognition of Scouting as the world's leading educational youth movement. We achieved this through a variety of ways by enhancing our communications and expanding our network of partners. WOSOM led the way in a new global youth mobilization in collaboration with our partners in the Big Six youth organizations and the World Health Organization. Our objective is to tackle the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on young people and support them to build back better. The mobilization brought together 1,600 young people together during a global youth summit in April this year, and is investing over $5 million to scale up youth-led solution to the COVID-19 pandemic. This effort was just one of many ways we strengthened our relationship with the Big Six youth organizations. We shared best practices and learnings while using our collective voice to call for a more investment in non-formal education and support our combined membership of over 250 million young people worldwide. We also draw the world's attention to young people's rise to non-formal education. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The right to non-formal education. That is why we have convened the first ever World Non-Formal Education Forum in Brazil, bringing together over 70 international and regional organizations and enabling our national Scout organizations to engage with experts and agencies working in this field. One of the key outcomes of the forum was the Rio Declaration on Non-Formal Education, which will continue to be a key advocacy platform to advance the non-formal education agenda around the world. As a movement, we are stronger when we work together. We continue to broaden our partnerships and collaboration with other organizations, turning some of the other ways in which we exerted the influence of our movement by creating a positive impact. And there are multiple ways how our movement can show that our Vision 2023 can indeed exert our influence to create a positive world and create more opportunities for young people. We established a global network of 12 trained youth representatives to be ambassadors of our movement and advance WOSOM advocacy efforts through participation in global processes. We also welcomed Barry Grylls, our Chief Ambassador for the Scouting, who has helped boost the Scouting public image through his participation in the World Scout Jamboree, Jota Joti, and other online campaigns. He has inspired more young people and volunteers to get involved in Scouting. And also, we launched the Global Communication Network, helping to engage 120 NSO representatives in capacity building workshops and digital campaigns. The success of this network is also inspiring the establishment of other global networks to facilitate a peer-to-peer learning among NSOs, including in the areas of growth, safe from harm, and partnerships and resource mobilization. All of these efforts and more were highlighted in 3 annual reports and a wide range of other key publications produced this triennium, including 2 in-depth studies measuring Scouting life-changing impact on young people. It's truly incredible to see just how far we have come this triennium and how much engagement we have with others to make it all come to life. The final section of our report is to provide you with some management updates. This triennium saw an overhaul of the WOSOM internal operations, driven by the World Scout Committee's commitment to strategic governance and the World Scout Bureau's revitalization agenda. The investment in digital transformation, which we have made over the years, served us well during this pandemic, allowing us to pivot and adapt to the changing situation without major disruption in our operations. We rewired the World Scout Bureau, adopting thematic teams across regions, pioneered a more modern and agile project management approach, working together with volunteers and putting a clear focus on serving the needs of National Scout organizations. We also made commitment to diversity and inclusion across our global workforce. We moved to a more representative senior management team and significantly increased the number of women in leadership positions. We also provided more opportunities for young people to join the World Scout Bureau. And I'm happy to report that we achieved full gender parity at the World Scout Bureau staff. The average age of our staff is 40, and we have welcomed and provided professional development opportunities to close to 25 interns since Baku. Looking at our financial management, for the first time, we developed a fully integrated approach to our budgeting process through a 3-year master operation plan. This plan made sure that we better align priorities across our movement and across all regional offices, and made more efficient use of our financial resources. Despite the financial challenges caused by the pandemic, we took the necessary austerity measures to balance our budgets throughout the triennium. And as part of a prudent financial management, we made the necessary budget cuts to weather the impact of the pandemic. Craig, it has been a challenging but exciting journey. We achieved a lot and learned a great deal too.
Ahmad, in looking back at all that we've achieved together this past extended triennium and during these uncertain times, I am certainly more confident than ever about the future of this movement. Our strategy for Scouting at Vision 2023 provided us with a guiding star. This vision has enabled us to stay focused on the future and to drive towards collective long-term impact.
Indeed, Craig, the unity of the Scout movement is one of our greatest strengths. Our commitment was to listen and support our members, both big and small, to dream big and grow stronger together.
And let's not forget all the fun and friendship that we've had along the way. This has been a truly extraordinary triennium, full of major milestones and celebrations, including the 100th anniversaries of the Rover Age section, the Wood Badge, the World Scout Jamboree, the World Scout Conference, and the World Scout Bureau.
And we wish to thank all of the dedicated WOSOM volunteers and staff who devoted their time, talent, and energy to advance our movement forward. You are truly inspiring, and we wouldn't have achieved all that we did without your efforts and dedication.
And to all our regional colleagues and committee members, your commitment to advance the work of our regions and ultimately enable even more young people to access better quality scouting is so central to the work that we do each and every day.
We also wish to thank and acknowledge the staff and board of the World Scout Foundation for their collaboration and their support to WOSOM. Their work has enabled us to finance and support lots of projects at the global, regional, and national level. I also want to acknowledge the over 20 years of service and dedication of John Gagan, the director of the World Scout Foundation, who recently announced his retirement. John's contribution over the years have been instrumental in unlocking new resources to strengthen our movement.
And to our other collaborators and partners, including Kandersteg International Scout Centre and organizations with consultative status, your commitment and support is an essential part of WOSOM's success and our ability to create positive change in communities all around the world. And finally, we want to give a special thank you to our collaboration with the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Through ongoing dialogue, shared learnings, and joint statements, we strengthened the relationship between WOSOM and WAGS this triennium and for the future.
So Craig, through it all, we made great strides in delivering on Vision 2023 and came together as a strong and united global movement. We can confidently report to you that our unity is stronger, our impact is evident, our influence is making a difference, and our growth is a reminder that the world needs more Scouts.
And as we transition to this last triennium of Vision 2023, let us build on this momentum to create the much-needed positive change that this world so urgently needs. Thank you.
Thank you.